As E3 rapidly approaches, little tidbits of news start to make the rounds across Reddit, Twitter, Reset Era, and everywhere imaginable. And since we last spoke, there's been a lot of news and interviews that I felt compelled to talk about. And let's be honest with each other, we all love watching E3 and all the announcements of games that will be presented on stage by our favorite developers. But this particular E3 does seem to be very different, with the added tension that Sony won't have a presence at the convention, which puts a little bit of pressure on Xbox to show up at E3 and be one of the only main shows around. It seems like a lot of people are hoping that Xbox finally starts showing a little bit more information, especially from the new studios they've acquired or things they kept under wraps from last year. So I'm here to give you guys a rundown of every rumor that has spun up the last couple months, because trust me, there's been a lot. And I first want to say a lot of this should be taken with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, no one really knows what exactly is going to be shown at E3. The only people that do are the ones sitting in the meetings planning the show out right now. So again, take this with a grain of salt, as some of these rumors do come from credible people that have gotten certain things right before. But to me, nothing is set in stone until it's actually announced or shown. First up is a tweet that a guy put up, and this dude has predicted certain things in the past and has some sort of insider information usually. He tweeted it out a couple days ago saying these are his educated guesses on what to expect from Xbox's E3 showing. Here's the tweet. About 99 days to only educated guesses: Halo Infinite, Gears 5, Age of Empires 4, new game by Ninja Theory, an IP comeback, Battletoads, next-gen sneak peek, 2 additional new games, xCloud info, Game Pass value changes, restructured PC gaming ecosystems, and 2 to 3 new Xbox game studios. As you can see, there's a lot to unpack here, so let's start from the top. He first talks about Halo Infinite, which, like we've already seen, is going to be shown like it was in last year's E3. But last year's E3 was more of a tech demo for the Slipspace engine that 343 was developing. So this shouldn't surprise many people, as Bonnie Ross, the head of 343, has hinted in her IGN interview that they plan to show the Slipspace engine at E3. Again, this doesn't confirm Halo Infinite will be at E3, but it does show that they feel a little more confident in talking about the tech behind the game, which goes hand in hand with talking about the actual gameplay that might be shown. So I'm really excited to see what they have to show for Halo Infinite, because hey, Halo is one of the best brands and the biggest franchises that Xbox has. And next up is Gears 5, which again shouldn't surprise anyone. We've got an awesome trailer announcement last E3 about Gears 5, which was a graphical showpiece in my opinion. So I do expect a lot of gameplay footage from this game, because it will be Xbox's biggest first-party game to come out this year by far. Not to mention, Gears is one of Xbox's biggest franchises in general. But people tend to forget that there's 2 other Gears games that might get some attention, and that's Gears Pop and Gears Tactics. Now, I know a lot of people could care less about Gears Pop, but I'm sure it will have an audience. As for Gears Tactics, that's a game I can't wait to play, because I love strategy games so much, so I'm very hopeful they show a lot from that game, because I'm pretty excited for it. And speaking of strategy games, the next one is Age of Empires 4. Now, this game has been hinted at for a very long time, not to mention there's been job listings posted asking for people to write sequels for the game, so it's almost a sure thing that this game will be shown at E3, at least I hope it is. But the crazy news about this is that Relic Entertainment might be one of the studios that Microsoft has acquired. There's been a lot of chatter and rumors indicating that they are almost a done deal to join the Microsoft Game Studios. And if you saw my previous videos, you know I'm excited for them to join the Xbox Game Studios. I love their work, especially in the RTS genre, so let's hope those rumors are true, because hey, we need a lot more diversity in our games. But this is when things start to get interesting. The next topic is Ninja Theory's new game, which if you've been paying attention shouldn't come as a big surprise, because while Hellblade came out back in 2017, only 20 out of the 100 developers at Ninja Theory were working on that game. So the other 80 developers were working on something else. And Phil Spencer himself has said that Ninja Theory wasn't sitting on their hands this entire time, so they're a lot closer to releasing a game than everyone thinks. But to add to the tension, there's been reports that this new Ninja Theory game will release at the beginning of 2020. I can't wait to see what the game is, but I do have a hunch it's going to be a multiplayer game and surprise a couple people with the direction they took. Next up is Battletoads, which I feel is a no-brainer. I don't expect this game to be a huge AAA game. I have a feeling it's going to sit next to Ori as a small, cool title that some people will play. Will this get a huge showing at E3 and be a big draw? I don't really think so. I have a feeling this will be a 3-person co-op game that a couple buddies get together and beat some dudes up as toads. That's about it. Either way, it'll be cool what this game's about, and maybe they will surprise us with the direction they took with it, because hey, it's a new game and kind of a new IP coming back, so we'll see what's going on with that. Now it goes into the next gen sneak peek, which I've said before, I think they will treat this like they did the Xbox One X, where they will show the codename for it and talk about the specs. Xbox did this at E3 2017 when they talked about the Scorpio specs, but didn't show us the console or the price. I have a feeling that Xbox must do this to combat anything Sony will show later in the year. Because if you remember, Sony won't be at this conference, so they'll more than likely have a show of their own later in the year showing the PS5. It wouldn't be smart for Xbox to let Sony have the spotlight on the next generation for almost half a year before the next generation kicks off, which is around 2020 holiday season. So I believe Xbox will show the specs of their next console, which is reported to be more powerful than the PS5. Next up is the 2 additional new games, which seems very weird when you look at it. Why mention Ninja Theory's new game but not attach a studio to these 2 new games? And I think this has to do with people don't know which studios are working on these. For me, I believe these aren't first-party studios making these games, but second-party studios that Microsoft may have cut a deal with a couple years ago. Because if you remember last year, Phil Spencer talked about them holding off on some announcements because they want the games to be ready for showing. And some of those were second-party deals they didn't want to announce yet. So I believe these second-party deals will finally be revealed at this upcoming E3. It excites me to see what they've been coming up with because a lot of our most memorable games came from second-party developers. Gears of War was Epic, Spider-Man was Insomniac. A lot of good talent out there that can make great games and build franchises for these great publishers. The next 3 topics I'm going to bunch together, which is xCloud information, Game Pass value changes, and PC gaming ecosystem. I think all of these are tied together. I think xCloud will work on PC along with Game Pass. We've seen reports of GameCore, a developer tool that bridges the gap between developing games for PC and Xbox. I have a feeling this ties directly with Game Pass and its value change, because as it stands, a lot of the games on the Microsoft PC store is very limited. So I think xCloud and Game Pass will be huge services that will help grow the Microsoft Store library. They're trying to bring Xbox games over to PC, which will help them expand their game library. It's a smart move because Steam has such a vast library of games and Microsoft just can't compete. So let's hope all these services get shown in a great light because they are a huge risk for the company, and honestly, I kind of want them to pay off because the more money they make, the more investment they're going to put into our games. But last and not least, he said he guesses there will be 2 to 3 new Xbox game studios shown. This doesn't surprise me at all because there's been rumors floating around for the longest time about Xbox wanting to expand their first-party studios. And one of those was hinted at earlier, which was Relic, who I absolutely love as a studio. As for the other 2, I believe it's up in the air at this point because there's been so many rumors about so many studios that it's hard to keep track of. But what I do know is that a lot of people have been throwing around this hashtag 20 by 2020 regarding the Xbox studios, which to me means that Xbox is going for 20 studios by 2020 so they can get more content out there for gamers to stay subscribed to Xbox Game Pass. So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they show off new studios, be it 1 new studio or 3 new studios. We really don't know how many they'll show off or even if they show off any. So that's everything in the rumor mill about Xbox's E3. I hope you enjoyed all the information. I tried to contain it as best I could, but there's a lot of information here and I wanted to share it with everyone. And as for what I think about all this, I believe a lot of this is true, but some of it might be wishful thinking. I believe that the studio acquisitions is something that's a total unknown because we don't know exactly what Xbox is aiming for. While I made a video a few weeks ago talking about Xbox wanting to bring out 4 AAA games a year for Xbox Game Pass, that's still such an ambitious goal to have that I wonder if Xbox is truly going for that much content. But who knows, maybe they are, and maybe they want Game Pass to truly be the Netflix of gaming, which would require them to make a lot of original content in order for people to stay subscribed. That includes new studios and second-party deals, which from what we've just seen rumored could actually happen. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Go down below in the comment section and tell me what you guys think will happen at this year's E3. Do you think Xbox will announce new studios? Will they show up with 3 new games? Is Ninja Theory's game ready to be shown and released in the next year? Is xCloud and Game Pass coming straight to the PC? Go down below and let me know. I really love having discussions with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. Also follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. If you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games, so I really do hope you check that out. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.